Okay. Oh. Alrighty. Well, hi YouTube. Crystal here, without Bernie. I am making this my video response to Amber with her request for how we met our love. And it's a good story. This is my second time trying to record this. Anyway, what am I doing? Let's see. There. Now, before we start, first of all, let me just preface it by saying no, I'm not smoking because I'm sitting in the parking lot of the school where I work. We're not allowed to smoke here. And besides that, I'm in the Avon mobile, which is my car. I'm also an Avon lady. But you know, so I don't like to smoke around my clients' products. Anyway, oh, and a second thing that I want to preface this with is that yes, I am alone, and no, Bern won't be in this video, but he will be doing his own video, and he is my husband, and so we're both doing this, so we're both appearing, so I'm hoping that counts as we're both here. If you don't count it, well, okay, but actually I wanted to do this because we share a, you know, we share the channel. I wanted to do this separately because I don't want him to see what I'm saying, and I don't want to see what he's saying until we're done. I think it'll be fun for us. Anyway, how we met. At the age of 46, I was widowed. And it was a young time to be widowed, and everybody's like, you ever going to get married again? No. I don't want to have to housebreak another man. I mean, that's a pain in the neck, housebreaking a man. So I wasn't going to do it. And it was in 1999, so I didn't really know anything about computers. And my youngest daughter, my middle child, she shows up at my house with a computer and says, here you go, Mom, play with this, learn how to use it. Everybody's going to need to know how. So I'm like, oh, geez. Okay, well, I'll play around. In the process, I got chatting with a few people, and one of them was this man from England. A man who made me laugh so hard sometimes that I would be crying, and he would be shocked that I was crying, that I would laugh that much at him. And I have to say that, you know, if you can make me laugh, well, that in itself is a huge attraction. That will attract me to somebody quicker than looking like Elvis. I'm attracted to people with a good sense of humor, and he has a British sense of humor. A lot of you know what I mean. It's a very dry, droll, and at the same time silly, goofy. He just made me laugh. And one day he admitted that he felt silly because he knew that he had this stupid internet crush on me. And yes, I admitted too that it was stupid. Because, and here comes some of my secret, our secret, is that I'm older than he is. And I just thought, you know, you don't want to be with somebody my age. Well, okay. And he admitted it was stupid, but, you know, he just wanted me to know. Time went on, and one day he happened to say, you know, it's really a shame that we can never meet, you know, being on the other side of the pond and all. So, you know, but you're such a nice lady, and I just really wish I could meet you. I said, well, you know what? Me being the merry widow, I am on my way to Athens, Greece, and I have a 5-hour layover in London at Gatwick. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for 5 hours, so I don't know. If you're close, come out to the airport and we'll have lunch or whatever time it is. We'll eat something together. And he said, okay. What he didn't tell me was that he lived 4 hours away from the airport, and he didn't drive. So he asked his father to drive him out. Okay. Anyway, he showed up. I got off the plane and I went up to the courtesy counter to ask, is this where we're supposed to meet people when we're going to meet people? Because I don't see the one I'm supposed to meet. And they said, yeah, this is the place. Okay, so I turned around. And as I turned around, there he was standing, just standing and staring at me like he was scared to move. And he had told me that he may get so nervous that he might go off and hide in a corner and just stare at me. Well, he wasn't in a corner. He was right up front, right there, just standing and not moving, just staring. So I went up to give him a hug. And, happy to see him. And he was shaking, so which I found very endearing. I think at that point I knew that I was attracted. But I had actually come, part of the reason I asked him to come out to the airport for lunch was I figured we'd meet. He'd see I was an old biddy, and he'd be over his internet crush. It wouldn't be there anymore, and we could just continue to be friends, which we were, but I knew that was that underlying thing. Didn't happen that way. We found ourselves very attracted and walking around in the airport together and getting close, kissing, yes, although I think I kissed him first. And one of the things that really attracted me was his beard. I had to just, I love the beard. I love the beard. Anyway, so, okay. When I left, went to Athens, had a wonderful time, and then flew back to Gatwick, and he came out again. And this time he said, it'd be nice if I could come out to the United States. I've got some free time and a little bit of free money. So I invited him over for Thanksgiving, which was actually only like a week and a half away. So the plan was he was going to fly over the day before Thanksgiving. He was going to stay for like 9 days, and he was going to leave. He landed. I picked him up at Newark Airport and brought him home. Now, my daughter was living with me at the time, her and her husband and 2 kids, whom you've met. CJ and Sierra at that time were 2 and 4. CJ was 4. Sierra was 2. Sierra saw him come in the door. And she burst into tears and ran to her father and buried her head in his lap and just bawled her eyes out until she fell asleep. After that, she was fine, but she was just, I don't know what scared her, but it scared her. He scared her. And he's such a quiet, dear man. My daughter wouldn't let me bring him to the house because even though we lived all together, especially because we lived all together, because of the 2 kids. Because she's like, I don't know who this man is. I got children, blah, blah, blah. Okay, don't worry. We'll put him up in the hotel down the road. So he stayed there for a week and then asked if he could stay another week. He was having a good time. I was having a good time. Okay, stay another week. So he stayed in the hotel again for another week. After that week, he's like, I could stretch it to stay another week. I said, okay. And when I told my daughter, she says, oh, Mom, forget it. Just bring him to the house. Why have him spending all that money? So he ended up coming and staying with us. And he ended up, instead of staying for those original 9 days, he ended up staying for 90, which is the maximum that anybody can stay on a visitor's visa. And after that, I flew to England and spent Christmas and New Year's with him and his family, his mom and dad. But I was a little nervous about his mom and dad because I am older. Then we flew back and forth for 3 years, And he started asking me to marry him, and I kept saying, no, don't be silly. I'm old enough to be your mother, and blah, 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 blah. And he kept at me about it. Then one year I'm over there, and he actually started to cry. Can you please marry me? He says, we're wasting... The thing he was saying was that we're wasting time, that we could be together. We obviously want to be together, so why waste this time? You know, I'm older. Who knows how long I'm going to be around, right? So I said, well, let me think about it. And on the way home, I realized, what am I doing? You know, I like this man. I like being with him. We spend as much time as we can together. We spend as much time that we can't be together. We are on the computer every single night. My daughter's like, what can you guys actually have to talk about? All kinds of things. We talk about what's going on in the world. We find sites that we visit together. We, you know, look at what I found, and you know, how do you feel about this? And we really got to know each other really, really well. Stop it. Anyway, so I just kept thinking, I can't marry this guy. I'm the married widow having a fling with a younger man. That's all. Well, no. After so many years, I finally realized that I did want to be with him. So why keep putting it off? So a few months later, I flew back over, and this time I took a ring to him and asked him to marry me. It was leap year, not leap year day. Couldn't get over there at that time, but it was leap year. So I did, and of course, he said yes. So then it was just a matter of getting him over here on a fiancé visa, which was a fiasco in itself, because we planned the wedding for September. He was supposed to be here in July. We were planning it for September. Government held him up from that one. Then it was August, and he would be here in November. And I kept changing the wedding date and making all the plans. And finally, I gave up and said, I'm not making plans till he's here. He showed up December 14th of 2004. You have 90 days in which to get married. So we rushed through making, giving ourselves as much time as we dared without being afraid of going over, and set the date. We got married on February 26th, 2005. We've been married 8 years now. Best thing I ever did. This man, Bernie, treats me so sweet. He's so sweet to me. He's so good to me. I can be a hard person to live with, I know. Oh, my poor... oh, poor Bernie. He's got to put up with me. And he is such a sweet and gentle man. Extremely different from my first husband. But I couldn't be happier. There are people who say, oh, I don't get it. I don't get you two. You're so different. Yep. I'm gregarious and outgoing, and he's very quiet and reserved, and especially when they knew my first husband. Charismatic man, outgoing like crazy, which meant we butted heads a lot. But I just am so enjoying every minute with him. And I'm glad I didn't waste any more time, and I wish I had said yes earlier. So, basically that's it. Okay, and here we go. I'll just say this. If I hit 300, if we hit 300 subs, that at that point maybe I'll make it a contest. Guess our age difference or something. Okay? Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right. Anyway, that's it. Happy Valentine's Day. Amber, congratulations on 600. That's fantastic. You deserve it. I love watching you, girl. You are great. And love to everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, and have a good one. Keep them lit. Keep smoking. Adios.